Preparing for peace talks the Russian way. Ukrainian emergency workers digging through the aftermath of a strike yesterday. This Russian attack injured a dozen and destroyed 2 buildings, the Ukrainians say, just 6 days before Vladimir Putin is meant to start peace talks.
Wow.
But the person sitting across from Putin in those talks will be the President of the United States, not Ukraine.
I'm going to meet with President Putin, and we're going to see what he has in mind. And I may say, lots of luck, keep fighting. Or I may say we can make a deal. And at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made. How will you know that? Because that's what I do. I make deals.
President Trump said Ukraine's President Zelensky will be the first person to be called after the talks, but he may not like what he hears.
There'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody. To the good, for the good of Ukraine. Good stuff, not bad stuff. Also, some bad stuff for both. So there's good and there's bad.
Ceding territory, though, would be a bitter pill for battle-weary Ukrainians to swallow. Ahead of these talks, President Zelensky had a plea and a warning for the man whose hands may hold his nation's fate.
We understand the intention of the Russians is to try and deceive America, and we will not allow it. The path to peace for Ukraine must be determined together, and only together with Ukraine.
These strongmen premiers have enjoyed a mutual admiration in the past, but ahead of talks to end 3.5 years of war, there's a question of who has the upper hand, the deal-maker or the strategist.
There's no question that Putin has the upper hand. He thinks that he is winning the military war. He thinks that time is on his side. Trump doesn't have very many levers. He can frustrate Zelensky in Ukraine, but doesn't have many levers over Russia to make them step back from their demands.
I'll be talking to President Zelensky. I'm going to get everybody's ideas. I go into that thing fully loaded right up there, and we're going to see what happens.
Whatever happens at this summit, though, is likely to be the start and not the end of a process.
Thank you all.
And the man in the middle trying to unite 2 warring nations is one who has often divided his own. The reason for that press conference actually wasn't Ukraine, it was DC crime. The president announcing that he will be taking over Washington's police department. He'll be deploying 800 National Guard onto the streets of DC. There'll be FBI agents on the streets, all to reduce the crime rate. 2 things he didn't seem to care much for is, 1, it's not entirely certain if he has the power to do that, and 2, city officials saying actually the crime rate in DC is falling. Now, it hasn't taken the heftiest of intellects for analysts to draw parallels between Trump on DC crime and Trump on Ukraine. He has an announcement, a vision, and he's ploughing ahead with it. There are a few concerns here. President Trump is not a details person. Vladimir Putin is a details person. President Trump has already said he wants out of an expensive war. The fear for many going into the summit on Friday is that what is a good deal for President Trump and America is not necessarily a good deal for Ukraine.